I am honored to invite our chief guest of the Golden Jubilee Conclave, Honorable Mr. Justice Markandeya Karju, former Judge Supreme Court of India and Chairman, Press Council of India, for his address.
Dr. Chakravarti, I am greatly honored to be invited here today on the occasion of the Golden Jubilee Conclave of this institute. In the 50 years period of your existence, you have established your institute as a center of excellence in technical education, and I am sure you will continue to keep making great strides in the future. Today we are discussing technology for sustainable development. What is the meaning of sustainable development? It is a vague word. Some people in fact say that it means nothing. But many people say it means that we have to have development which takes care not only of the present generation but also of the future generation and so on. My own interpretation is that sustainable development means that development which results in social harmony and not social unrest. And the present development which is taking place in India for some time is resulting in more and more social unrest, and therefore it is just contrary to sustainable development. What we are witnessing over the last few decades all over the world is development which has led to and is leading to wide-scale social unrest all over the world. You have heard of Occupy Wall Street movement in the United States and in America, that spread all over. There has been no doubt a lot of technical development, for example in the information technology industry. But this has resulted in a handful of people becoming richer and the masses becoming poorer. This is not sustainable development. And I don't think we should go in for this kind of development, because this is going to lead to wide-scale social unrest. There will be massive demonstrations and uprising against this kind of development, where more and more people are being made poorer and a handful of people are becoming richer and richer. What kind of technology is this? In India today, a handful of people have become richer, very rich, some are in the Forbes billionaire list. But what about the 85% people, the vast majority? It is estimated that 47% of the children in our country are undernourished, malnourished. They are not getting enough food. Today, 75% of our countrymen are earning 20 rupees a day in these days of skyrocketing prices. The average Indian is eating 100 kilograms food per year less than what he was eating 10 years ago. This is the facts and figures given by Mr. P. Sainath, one of the most eminent journalists who is specialized in the agricultural sector. He is a rural affairs editor of the Hindu newspaper. There is massive poverty, massive unemployment, skyrocketing prices, massive problems of healthcare, education, housing, etc. All this is bound to lead to social unrest on a large scale, and it is directly contrary to sustainable development. We do not want this kind of development. There are few people keep on becoming rich because of your technology, and masses become poorer and poorer. Sorry, this is just not going to be accepted in this country. What is the solution to this problem, and how can we achieve sustainable development in India, where it is a development which benefits everybody, not just a handful of people. I am presenting before you a new theory in economics. I don't know how many people among you have studied economic theory. This theory, which I call the new physiocratic theory, is different from the old theory of the physiocrats, who were a group of French economists from 1756 to 1763, who laid emphasis on agriculture, and that is what I am laying emphasis on also. Now let me explain to you in very brief. See, today's problems, basic problems, are not problems relating to engineering and physics and chemistry. These problems have largely been solved. The problems today are of unemployment, of recession. You may have a job in physics and chemistry, but you won't get a job. Will you eat your physics? Will you eat your chemistry? Will you eat your engineering degree if you don't have a job? Please try to understand this. There are two kinds of sciences in the world. One is known as natural sciences, the other is known as social sciences. The problem in the world today are related to the social sciences, not to the natural sciences. See, natural sciences is your engineering, study of inanimate matter like physics, chemistry, or study of living beings like plants and animals, botany, zoology, or even study of the anatomy of human beings, medical science. These all pertain to the field of natural sciences. Engineering is also a natural science. You have made a lot of progress in these fields. Problem is not in these fields. Problem is in the social sciences. The social sciences are the sciences which study the social behavior of human beings. Unlike natural sciences, which are study inanimate matter or plants and animals or human anatomy and so on, engineering. Social sciences study the behavior of human beings in society. Economics is one of the social sciences. The other social sciences like sociology and jurisprudence, I need not go into. Basic problems in the world today are relating to social sciences. There is no shortage of engineers and technicians. We have studied a lot. Of course, we will keep on making progress in the natural sciences. I am not saying the scientific discoveries have come to an end. But the basic problems are not those. Basic problems, what about getting jobs? And for that, you have to have a knowledge of economic theory. You can't solve the problem of unemployment by having knowledge of technology. If you want to solve the problem of unemployment, you must have an understanding of economic theory. How does it happen? How does this phenomenon of unemployment happen? How does recession happen? Why does it take place? What is the solution to this problem? This is a totally different ballgame altogether. All your knowledge of technology is useless if you don't get a job. So you have to have an understanding of economic theory, and I'm not going to go very deep into economic theory. But I'm just presenting you before you the new economic theory, which is I call the new physiocratic theory, because it is similar to but not identical to the traditional physiocratic theory which was propounded by the French physiocrats, the French economists between say 1756 to 1763. You can go online and read about that, about the physiocrats. They basically emphasize agriculture as a source of creating wealth. Now, in my opinion, the solution to our problem in the country will be by making the farmers prosperous. And for that, we have to introduce technology into the agricultural sector on a very wide scale. At presently, it is technology is focused in the urban centers. And in my opinion, the policies have to be reversed. The government policies which have focused the development, technology development in the urban centers has to be reversed. It has to be now focused on the agricultural sector, so as to make the farmers, particularly the small and the middle sized farmers, not just the rich farmers, more prosperous. See the problem, let me explain to you in very simple language. I won't go into detail about economic theory. See, the problem is not how to increase production. The problem is how to raise the purchasing power of the masses. Today we have thousands of brilliant engineers, technicians, many of you are very bright students. We have immense resources. We can increase the amount of steel production or production of chemicals or anything we can double it to make it 5 times, 10 times. The point is it won't be sold. Because people are so poor they don't have the purchasing power to buy those goods. So the problem is not how to increase production. You can always increase production as much as you like, but it will be lie unsold. Because the mass production must be matched with mass consumption. Where is the purchasing power? People are so poor, they are earning 20 rupees a day, and I think 75 to 80% of that goes in buying food. How will they buy industrial goods? So the problem of the country, and not only India, many countries, is how to raise the purchasing power of masses. And the masses live in the rural area, 75% people. You have to raise their purchasing power, because then only they will be able to buy the goods which you produce. So, in my opinion, this requires that we must increase the purchasing power of the farmers. We must make them more prosperous. At present, the situation in most parts of India is that farming has become almost unviable because of the high costs of inputs like fertilizer, pesticide, electricity. The costs have risen so much that the farmer is hardly able to make any profit. And unless he makes a profit, how can he buy the industrial goods? See, 75% of people in your country are in the rural, in the countryside. Unless they are earning a substantial amount of money, how will they be able to buy the industrial goods? And unless they can buy the industrial goods, your manufacturing cannot increase, because if you can increase your manufacturing, but it won't be sold. People don't have the money to buy those goods. So you have to now introduce technology on a very large scale in the rural areas, so that by research and development, by introduction of new technology, the farmers get fertilizers, pesticide, electricity, etc. at a much cheaper price. Because if they get it at a much cheaper price, then they can make a good amount of profits, which means that their purchasing power will go up and they can buy the goods which you produce. So, at present, the concentration of technology, the focus of technologies in the urban area, in my opinion, these policies of the government and other bodies has to be reversed if you want your country to progress. Otherwise, see, the result is manufacturing activity in this country is declining. Manufacturing jobs in this country are going down. It's hard to make manufacturing jobs nowadays because factories are becoming real estate. Factories are being sold away, and the land on which the factory is situated, that is very valuable, and the businessman makes a lot of money by selling that land. So factories are becoming real estate. This is the reality of the situation in the country, and it's all because of the wrong policy that you are not placing emphasis on increasing the purchasing power of the masses. Once the farmers can earn a lot of money, they will be able to buy the industrial goods, and when they can buy the industrial goods, the industries will increase their production to meet that demand, and when the industrial production increases, a lot of jobs are created. Millions of jobs will be created if the correct policies are introduced so as to generate a huge demand for the products of industry. Secondly, if industry is introduced in agriculture and farming input costs are reduced, the farmers can sell their farm products at a cheaper price, because if their input costs go down, then they can sell their farm products at a cheaper price, which means that the people living in urban areas can buy food at a cheaper price. At present, the prices are skyrocketing. All of you know what is the price of vegetables, dal, they are all going up and up. Now, if they start going down, at present, you are spending in the city, say, 60% of your budget, family budget on food. 60% on food, 25% on other things like education for children and medicine and so on. Only leaving 15% of your budget to buy industrial goods. But if the prices of food go down, then instead of 60% of your budget being spent on buying food, maybe only 30% will be spent on buying food. So the balance 30% can be spent on buying industrial goods. And therefore again the demand of industrial goods will go up, industries will develop, and a lot of millions of jobs will be created. So for all these reasons, I submit that the time has come when the government and all of us must review our policies. Many of the policies have to be reversed. With due respect to Dr. Mehrotra, well, I don't see such a rosy situation as he saw in this country, that poverty is going down, this and that. I rather am seeing it going up. Unemployment, there is massive unemployment. Prices are skyrocketing. What is the condition of healthcare? You know, in every city the number of quacks is greater than the number of regular doctors, because the poor man can't afford a regular doctor. He doesn't have money to go to a regular doctor, so he goes to a quack. What is the situation of education? I mean, yours is of course a very good educational institute. What about the primary schools in the rural areas? Your whole emphasis on education is IIT, as if the whole thing in the whole country education is IIT. What about where the basics of education begins? I myself am very keen about education. I should have been a professor like Professor Chakravarti, but destiny made me a lawyer and a judge. So, but I am very keen about education. I often go and ask children. Once I went to a village about 40 kilometers from Allahabad. A friend of mine who is a farmer, and I asked my friend's son. He said he has passed class 7 and gone into class 8 in a village school. He passed class 7, gone into class 8. I said, you give me your class 7 mathematics book. He brought it. And I asked him very simple question. Very simple question. He could not answer. I said, but you have passed class 7, you have gone into class 8. I am only asking you class 7 question. Then I told him how to solve the problem. And he was a bright person, bright boy. One or two, in every lesson there are 20 problems. One or two I solved, and thereafter he started solving the rest. He was a bright boy. If somebody had taught him to solve the problem, he would have gone ahead.